Saturday, May 9th, 12:16 p.m. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. Going to discuss currency investing using stock ETFs. There are several financial institutions that created stock ETFs on currencies. So you don't have to go to the futures market, the Forex market, to invest in currencies. There's stock ETFs. There's stock ETFs on currencies if you're bullish, as well as if you're bearish. So that means you don't have to have a brokerage account to be margin approved to trade bearish on certain assets. Bullish, if you don't know, if you speculate prices going higher, you're bullish. You buy the position, you're long the position. If you speculate bearish, thinking the price is going to decline, you're shorting the asset. That requires margin, unless you use what I just mentioned, the stock ETF. Going to look at currencies that are paired with the US dollar. There is a index, the US dollar index. You could also trade the stock ETF on this. But this US dollar index, just like that says, is an index. It's more than two pairs. This has several currencies in the index. It's much more broader. Well, there's also, I'm going to show you, currency stock ETFs on pairs. A pair is two currencies. Example, the US dollar euro, that's a pair. The US dollar yen, that's a pair. The US dollar Mexican peso, that's a pair. So you can have an edge by trading a pair instead of a broad index that's influenced by other, much more wider countries. Give you an example here again. This US dollar index, the three largest weighted currencies in it, the euro, the yen, and the pound. The euro makes up probably around 57% roughly. Again, they change daily. Japanese yen, around 13%, and the British pound around 11%. So those three currencies represent a big portion of this index, have a big influence. 5-year chart, each candle's a week. Look at the bottom left. That was the low, past 5 years. The top, the high, the past 5 years. The dollar has been declining since the middle of last year to now. It's in this huge consolidation. In this consolidation, the current trend is down. What is your bias? Are you bullish or bearish? US dollar index, based on the chart on this weekly time frame. Again, here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. Each time we came down here, we had buyers willing to step in. And on the upside, we just haven't taken out this swing point. So again, new buyers haven't stepped in to take it higher here. It's in a range. You can still trade and invest in that. Let's go look at some major currency pairs now. The stock ETFs, those are listed below this video on my Patreon page. In the post prior to this one. The euro, 5-year chart, big difference. Here's the bottom, past 5 years, and the high is all the way back here. It's coming off the lows. We're in a huge consolidation. It's pretty much the inverse from the dollar, since it's the largest weighted currency pair in the US dollar index. And same thing. Down here, buyers been stepping in. First up here, making higher highs, still rejection. We're coming up to a current swing point right here. That would help to determine if we break that and close above that, show there's more strength to the upside. Same with this one. Japanese yen, big difference, right? Big difference in the euro. Yeah. Past 5 years, trending down. Here's the lows. Buyers been stepping in here. So if you're a speculator thinking the yen is going to turn around, be stronger, and again, it's the yen dollar. So this goes up, stronger for the yen, goes down, stronger for the dollar. The past week, we formed this dodgy candle. Very suspicious. We'll see how things play out. British pound, similar to the euro. Yep. Here's the bottom, past 5 years. Pretty much big consolidation, current consolidation. We have a trend up off the lows of this year. This swing low here, late last year, was good that we didn't break it when we came back down. We had this big, strong, bullish engulfing candle here. But we did finish with the inside candle for the past week. Inside candle means indecision. In the Australian dollar. Top left, past 5 years. The low was last year. Big move on that low of last year. Look at that candle trading range. Amazing. Since then, been trending up. And this week, it made an all-time new high for the year. The nerve of them. Australian dollar making an all-time new high for the year against the US dollar. Really? We're coming into the United States 250th anniversary of independence, and they're not playing along. Which country is older, United States or Australia? Put your answer below. So this move, high, new high, closed above the prior weekly. That's strong, and already did a big retest, that big wick retest the prior weeks, and buyers stepped in and defended. Nice. Good for them. Australia, their currency benefits from a stronger commodity market. Yep, Australia is a heavily weighted in commodities. Commodities of metals, commodities of energy, agricultural. So again, if those commodities take a beating, that also has a negative impact on their currency. Canadian dollar. Top left, the high of the past 5 years. Down here, the low of the past 5 years. Big consolidation since the middle of last year. Did make a lower high, lower low, closing red this prior week. The trend reversed. The trend is back down now, going down. This big green level this year has been acting as a demand zone. Swiss franc is considered a safe haven currency. Here's the low for past 5 years. And here we go. It's currently trending up off the lows made from here. And for the week, higher high, higher low. Momentum is up. The neighbors to the south, Mexican peso. Here's the low for the past 5 years. Here's the high for the past 5 years. So we're in a tight consolidation compared to the prior year. Last year was a strong trend up. And currently, look at this prior week. Nice, strong move up. The momentum is up. It's in a consolidation phase with strength buyers. Nice. Big difference than the Canadian dollar. Yep. Again, here's the Canadian dollar. Big consolidation, including last year. First, Mexican peso, last year, strong trending up. Chinese yuan. So this is a Forex pair because they don't trade the currencies in the futures market. So that's why I queued in the Forex market here. It trades different. What that means is when this is trending down, that's stronger the yuan. Again, trending up here because the first three letters USD is stronger US dollar. So this past week made a new low for the year. That's the US dollar weaker against the Chinese yuan. Yep, the Chinese yuan broke that swing low, new low for the year, giving strength to the Chinese yuan. We have a big event coming next week. The United States president is traveling to the host nation, China, for a summit. You think we're being kind and letting our dollar get weak to benefit them and help us to buy more of their products less expensive and have them to buy our products less expensive? Well, I'm joking. Importing, there's tariffs. When you have a weaker dollar, you pay more for those imports. This is benefiting China, not the United States. And if you go deeply geopolitical, what do you think the risk is? Finish this off with the, not a currency, a crypto, Bitcoin. Yep, here's the high, 2025. It's been in a decline. This past week, broke out from the prior week. So current trend is up from the higher time frame, longer duration of a trend down. It also has a stock ETF. Thank you as always, spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you kindly for your support.